those of you who have been following Green Living from the beginning will agree with me when I say that this place feels like home. In the past, we've featured stories on how the humble bicycle benefits both ourselves and the environment. No exaggeration here, this truly is a machine that keeps on giving. This time around though, we're turning the tables and showing you a few tips and tricks on how to keep these two-wheeled wonders in great working condition. Well, I'm here at Extreme Bike Shop where I'm about to meet Francis Raura, who's going to show us the very basics. Well, here's the man himself, Francis.
Yeah, hi.
And you're going to guide us through the basics of bike maintenance, aren't you, Francis?
Yeah.
All right. Well, people usually have their bikes, they usually have a helmet, obviously, but not a lot of people think about what to bring with them when they go on a ride. What are the basics?
Say if you get into a flats or whatever,
Right,
so
that's fairly common.
Yeah, you need a spare tube, you need a tire pump,
Okay.
patch kit.
You've got your patches, obviously. Different
Sizes. Yeah.
It takes a lot of effort to pull the tires and the tubes out from the rim. You're going to need something to do that.
What you need is a tire lever.
There's a lot of nuts and screws and things like that. So a multi-tool
Yeah, a multi-tool
will address most of those needs. You can't travel with all of this stuff. So you want it compact, you want it light, but you want to have the ability to make some minor adjustments while you're on the go.
Another important thing to bring in the ride, I mean, you need a chain breaker in case you break your chain during a ride.
It does happen, it does happen that
or they call this a missing link.
Okay.
Instead of breaking the chain using a tool, you could use your hands or say a pair of pliers to remove the chain.
Well, that sounds basic enough. So remember guys, when you ride your bike, make sure that you do have the basics. But being prepared is really only half the battle. A little later on, we'll be applying some elbow grease as we show you how to tinker with our toys. But before that, take heart everyone, as we show you a feature on Got Heart. Welcome back to Green Living. Well, now that we've got the tools, it's about time that we learn how to use them. And Francis is here to show us just that. Francis, it looks like you're all geared up to get down and dirty.
Yeah.
You're ready, right?
Yeah.
Okay, the most common thing that happens is a flat tire. How do we deal with that?
For changing the flat tires, I would like to call our Johnny, our resident bike mechanic.
All right, so Johnny's going to show us how to deal with a flat tire. All right? So what happens here? Francis? What's
First,
the
you have
thing?
to remove the tires.
Okay. Okay. So Johnny's going to do this in super speed, so we're going to have to keep up here.
What he's doing right now is, we call that unseating the tires.
So we're using one of these things, or a couple of these things. These are called?
Tire levers. So
Tire levers.
that's what you need to bring during a ride.
One of those basic things that we should have in our kit.
You have to loosen.
So basically what we're doing here is we're exposing the inner tube.
So something that you could grab a hold to. So you could remove the see, okay. He's removing the inner tubes right now. Okay. So this is what we call a bead.
It's something that bites onto the rim.
Onto the rim.
Okay, so it's something like a connection like this.
Yeah.
Right.
So right now, after removing it, you have to make sure everything is clean.
Okay, because something obviously caused the puncture to begin with. It might still be in there.
Yeah. So we have to clean it. We have to check it for debris. So after checking it, so you didn't see anything. So maybe a nail or something, a branch or
anything could have caused that. Okay.
So after that, you slightly inflate the inner tube. So it would take its form.
Okay.
Much easier to put in.
Okay. So again, like you said, if you're going to be riding your bike, you should have your pump.
The pump.
Some way to inflate.
So right now we're just using the floor pump.
A shock floor pump. So obviously this is not the full.
This is not the pressure required.
The full pressure required. This is just something to give it some shape.
So you put the tubes inside. And then, so you don't need anything else. So right now you just seat again the tires.
Okay, so again we're putting the tire back into position so that it mates with the rim again. This takes a little bit of patience and a little bit of practice, maybe, but this
experience
is a skill,
maybe.
this is a skill that everybody who owns a bike should learn.
Yeah,
because sooner or later you're going to have to deal with a flat tire.
Yeah, actually after say 3, 4 flat tires, you'll be an expert.
Everybody's an expert.
Yeah, you'll be an expert. So it's inflating the tire according to your preferred PSI setting.
Okay, so whether it's a mountain bike, a road bike, you should have the basic information there.
Road bikes are much harder to inflate.
Right.
I mean, they require 100 psi, 80 psi. Mountain bikes are just anywhere between 25 to 35 psi.
So you said there are two options here. If you're the kind of person who carries an extra inner tube, by all means use that inner tube. If you want to travel light and you're just carrying patches,
you just patch the hole.
You patch the hole, you find where that hole is, and you patch it with a tire patch.
It takes a bit longer, so. But I mean,
the basic concept is the same.
Basic concept is the same.
Getting a flat tire doesn't have to be a stressful thing now that you know what to do. Well, we've got a few more tips and tricks up our sleeve, but before that, let's check out Only Wood, where old timber gets a new lease on life. Welcome back to Green Living. Now earlier we showed you guys how to change a flat tire. That's a very clear example of reacting to a situation. Well, now we want to talk about preventive maintenance so that you can avoid hassles on your next bike ride. And of course, Francis is still here to guide us along the way. So Francis, what are the basics of preventive maintenance?
Okay, I'm gonna teach you some maintenance tips that you can do at home. These tips are applicable for mountain bikes or road bikes or supermarket bikes or whatever bike you have. If it has a crank, if it has chain, if it has wheels, that's all you have to do. After a ride, what you need to do is basically first you have to clean the bike.
Okay,
clean everything.
I got this covered.
Yeah.
Break out the pressure washer and then just, wash that sucker down, right? Correct?
No, I usually don't advise using the pressure
That's a bad
washer.
idea,
Yeah, that's a bad idea. Just
okay.
if your bike has suspensions, I mean, water could go in.
Okay.
So
the high force of the water.
high force
really,
of the water.
Apart from the fact that you're wasting a lot of water, you're actually forcing water into areas that wouldn't really be exposed to that because of the high pressure. No?
Just use the hose, a brush, clean every debris, everything that you see. So then after that, let the bike dry. What you need to maintain is just the drivetrain.
Okay, when we say the drivetrain, we're talking about basically
the crank,
the cranks, the chain,
the sprocket, the derailleurs, the front and rear. That's what you do at home.
Okay,
so
and
the
key here really is lubrication.
Yeah, lubrication. You put oil on the top, then the other side, then you dry it. Use a rag. I mean, get rid of the excess oil, so it won't be a dirt magnet.
So the idea really is to balance having enough lubrication there that things run smoothly, but also that it's not overly lubricated, so you don't attract more dirt.
Excess oil is a no-no. You have to check for the shifting every time, so it shifts properly, like this one. So it goes up every time I press the shifter, goes down every time I press the shifter.
So maybe this is the point also where you can decide, is this something that I can fix personally, or maybe it's time to go to the bike shop?
It's something that you have to learn.
Okay.
Actually, I suggest that you have to learn it, because you're gonna use it during the ride.
Okay.
I mean, every time there's this, every time you have to, the cable stretches. So there are lots of factors that you have to tune the bike every time that you're using it. Those are very, very basic stuff that you could research on the internet, so how to do it.
And each system probably has their own little, intricacies.
Basically, same thing. Just tighten it, loosen it, so to adjust the shifting. You just need something to hang the bike on. You could use a table, you could use a chair, you could use a rope.
Get creative.
Yeah. So you don't have to buy a bike stand. If you have enough time, you check for the bolts.
Okay.
Every single bolt. If it's loose, then tighten it. But do not over tighten it.
And I guess maybe the number one thing would be
use the bike.
Use the bike, right? I mean, constant
you bought it
use,
in the first place, so
right,
you have to use it.
Actually keeps the bike in good condition. The more you store the bike, the more
it stocks up. So
it gets stuck up.
That's all.
Go out and have fun.
Yeah.
Well, Francis, thank you so much for showing us the basics. I'm sure every kind of cyclist, newbie and experienced, learned something new today. See you out on a ride one of these days.
Yeah, sure.
All right. For more tips and behind-the-scenes notes, you can log on to www.greenliving-tv.com or follow us on Twitter and like our Facebook page. I'll see you guys next week right here on Green Living.